A magnetic variable neutral density filter? Game changer alert. One thing I preach on our channel when breaking down our equipment on our film sets is the importance of a variable ND filter. I always tell our audience of creators that this should arguably be one of the first investments you make when getting into filmmaking. Before a gimbal, before the newest Sigma lens, before lighting, before LUTs and effects, before a camera strap. Yes, I said camera strap. Your camera should come with a camera strap out of the box, but I tend to somehow lose them. Hence why I have a Canon strap on my Lumix S1. Should that be illegal? The world's first versatile magnetic VND camera filter by Freewell gear. Before we get into this piece of equipment that should be your first gear purchase as an up-and-coming creator, or a creator that maybe travels a lot or simply wants the convenience of what this VND has to offer, let's talk a little bit about what a VND is and why I preach that you guys should have this in your gear arsenal. A variable ND filter is so useful because it is variable. After placing the filter on your lens, simply rotate it to dial the correct exposure in. So let's say you're filming in broad daylight without an ND filter. Your footage will look super blown out, aka overexposed. If you try to compensate for the overexposed image by cranking your shutter speed and aperture values, your camera settings will be completely out of whack and you'll have zero control over dialing in your settings manually. Slap a variable ND filter on your lens and boom chicka pop, your footage will look as smooth and healthy as this popcorn tastes. So the convenience, as I mentioned before, of a variable ND filter is you can dial in your camera settings to whatever you desire and add or remove shade from your image on the fly, meaning that you can get a perfect exposure setting every single time. The Freewell magnetic ND filter. What's in the box? Or should I say, case? Yep, it comes with a small carrying case so you don't scratch up your Freewell ND filters when transporting them, which wouldn't necessarily matter with Freewell's ND filters because they claim to be waterproof, dustproof, scratch-proof, and have an oil-proof coating, but you can never be too careful. This magnetic variable ND filter kit includes the following. Magnetic base plate that screws onto the top of your lens. These can be ordered in various thread pitch sizes such as 58mm, 62mm, 67mm, 72, 82, 95, and 112mm. We personally chose the 72mm thread pitch. A mist base filter for a clean, soft look. I believe these are a 1/8 mist, so it's not too heavy on the softness, but also not too light. It's just a very subtle mist. Sort of like us here at Subtle Cinematics. We're a subtle crew, filming subtle video content, subtly uploading our content to our YouTube channel, Subtle Cinematics, for you to consume in a subtle manner, while subtly eating popcorn. Ignore the calories. You deserve that popcorn. So if you're feeling subtle, consider smashing that subscribe button down below and liking this video as we post a ton of educational filmmaking content such as in-depth behind the scenes videos on our filmmaking sets, filmmaking reviews like the one you're watching right now, vlogs, and more. So moving along, we also have a one-stop VND base, one magnetic VND 2 to 5 circular polarizer filter, one magnetic VND 6 to 9 circular polarizer filter, both of which are hard stops, which is really nice because on cheaper VND filters, they infinitely spin and spin and spin and can create a nasty looking vignette if you overcrank the VND. So having a hard stop VND eliminates the gross looking vignette, meaning yes, these Freewell VNDs boast not having any sort of weird vignetting on your footage. And last but not least, a magnetic lens cap, which is really nice because it's thin, easy to slap on and off to cover up the front of your filter to avoid any dust or anything from getting onto the front of the filter while you're transporting your camera or mad chilling on set when you're not filming. Now going back to the VNDs themselves, I love that they also act as circular polarizer filters. A circular polarizer is designed to do one thing: remove or control reflections from surfaces like water, glass, paint, leaves, skies, buildings, and the list goes on. When light hits those surfaces, they create glare that increases highlights, reduces color, and detail. So the fact that Freewell built in a CPL into their VNDs is super clutch. Now let's get into some test footage using this versatile VND Freewell kit. I'm gonna roll over some clips of our friend Mackenzie who roller skates using the bougiest, most badass roller skates I've ever seen in my life. For these clips, I'm using a Canon R6 shooting in C-Log, a Canon 35mm f1.4, DJI Ronin RS2, the Freewell Magnetic Mist VND base, and the Freewell Magnetic 2 to 5 stop VND CPL.
White tiger, ride.
hope you enjoyed some clean cinematics using these VNDs. Now it's time for my final thoughts. This is like my favorite VND filter kit I've ever used, and I love using up and coming products that are different from the norm. Like, who would have ever thought that variable ND filters would become magnetic and easily interchangeable like Freewell's product? And last but not least, let's talk about pricing. The Freewell magnetic VND kit comes in at $399.99, which is an extremely competitive price point compared to other brands such as Polar Pro and Moment. We even own two 6-to-9 stop Polar Pro VND filters, and the big question here is, so should the team at Subtle switch over to the Freewell magnetic VND filter kit? One last thing before you guys go, this is super important, especially if you made it this far into the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, as again, our team here at Subtle Cinematics posts some of the realest behind the scenes content while we're on our filmmaking sets, and we drop nothing but gems on this channel, all for free, to help up and coming filmmakers like yourself level up. Be sure to comment down below if the Freewell magnetic VND is a piece of equipment that you would consider purchasing and using on the regular. With all that being said, guys, thank you everyone for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.